It's time for the Chase Car Guys, and here's Rick.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to another great show from the Chase Car Guys. My name is Rick Pulaski, and I'm along with my co-host and good time buddy, Mr. Roy Morales. And Roy, talk about our guest. We got a special show tonight. I think people are going to enjoy it. We're going to talk a lot about the service department, and we have two representatives who have been with us quite a long time. But without any further ado, I'm going to let you do some work tonight, Mr. Morales.
Thank you very much. I get to do the whole show. There you go. See, he's going to bail out on me, huh?
No, I'll be here. Make sure you don't cross the lines.
Hey, this is just to let the audience know. You know, the millions of people that are looking out.
Millions and millions
via
of the
Facebook.
Roy
Yeah,
fans.
that's right.
Oh yeah.
This is actually our fourth show.
It's easy for you to say.
It is fourth show. And anyway, we've covered some topics along the way. One that I had in my mind for a long time when we originally were putting kind of this thing together was the area of service. I've been there 18 years. How long have you been at Chase Chevrolet?
They stopped counting.
They stopped counting. You can't count that high. But we have had the opportunity, Rick and I both have had the opportunity. We're on more the sales end, finance end. But we've had a lot of opportunities to work directly with the service department. And I've gotten to know, of course, both of you, but many of the, because we got over 100 employees. But I've gotten to know many personally, and so I was really looking forward to this topic, service. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to have you just basically, introduce yourself. If you want to, say hi to your family or anything like that, you get an opportunity to do that too. But introduce yourself and then just kind of tell us, what your job position is with Chase Chevrolet. And also how long you've been with Chase, that type of thing, just to kind of break the ice. Okay. And we'll start off with you, Kat.
Okay. I'm Kat. I work in the Lube Center, Quick Lube, I guess they call it. Kat Hernandez. I've been there a little over 8 years now, service writing.
Wow.
And I love it. Second home, I guess.
We're glad to have you.
Second home for sure.
First home, yeah.
I know.
Moving along, young man, it's your turn.
Yes.
You're up in center.
I am Nick Ely. I've worked for Chase for 6 years, and I've been with GM for 24 years.
Now, we're going to
Really?
question that because you're not much older than that.
Wow.
So
So I've been writing
24
service
years?
for 20.
He's
For
been there
20
since he was
yeah,
7.
no, I've been writing service for 21 years.
You've been writing service for 21 years.
Just for
Wow.
GM. So my dad ran a Chevy dealership in Woodland, and
okay.
for years grew up in doing that, and then
Right.
so I've been worked
Wow.
for GM my entire life. I've never done anything else.
Here we are.
Yeah.
We don't work every day together, but we see each other usually once a day.
Stuff you
And
didn't
that's-
know,
I
right?
didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought you were the muscular, good-looking.
Oh, you make me blush, buddy. Come on.
Well, he is.
Yeah.
We're not going any further than that.
And he is.
Yeah.
That's interesting because that's something that I didn't realize. I didn't realize that you had worked
Yeah.
with GM, for that long a time. So your experience it's got to be amazing.
That's all I know.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I know that the 6 years that you've been with Chase Chevrolet, you've just
Oh, it's the best.
outstanding. Just
thanks.
a
He's
good
number one.
dealership.
Thank you.
In
Thank
service.
Thank you.
In service,
Girl,
that's
right.
up high, come on out. Right there.
You just PO'd a bunch of
I
people.
know.
Yeah.
I'll hear it tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow.
She
We're good.
apologizes.
Don't forget by Friday.
I'll tell them they're all my favorites.
It's a competitive group there.
No,
Huh?
it is. It's a good group.
Yeah. So, Kat, I was gonna ask you. You're probably, your area of where you work in service. Kind of explain your specific area because it's called the Express
Right.
Service.
Yeah.
I guess is that what they kind of call that?
Yeah,
area?
we do a lot more than that. Am I
Right.
close enough? We do a lot more than that.
Yeah.
We can do transmission service. We can do belt hoses, things like that. We can do some warranty work.
Mm-hmm.
We do batteries, tires, brakes, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can name it. Usually, if not, then we refer you next door, things like that. But I help the customers when they come in. I write them up for their oil changes, rotations. Usually, I have two other guys that work with me, Mark and Angel, and Yeah. It's,
So you're actually coming from the sales side after we sell a car. You're probably the next face.
yeah,
that they
you guys
see.
come and see me. Yeah.
Because the next face is one probably for an oil change.
Yep.
And tell me this, because there's a lot of people out there that don't know, but now there are two different oil changes that we do. I mean, we have your basic oil change, and then what does that encompass? And then you have a more comprehensive one that involves some other things, as far as rotation and that
Right.
type of thing.
Well, usually you want to rotate every time you come in for the oil change, unless otherwise specified by your,
There are some
manual.
models you can't do that with.
Exactly. You can't rotate Corvettes, things like that, Camaros with staggered wheels, things like that. But yeah, oil change, rotations, there are certain packages that you can do. Usually it's the oil rotation package, and some have regular, conventional oil. There's synthetics that we have.
And what does the customer ask for the synthetic, or does a make and model dictate that?
Makes and models do dictate. We usually put what the model calls for. Customers can come in and request upgrades for the oil, things like that. So yeah.
Good to know.
Can a customer actually bring their own oil in?
Yeah, definitely can.
they
Any
can.
oil, we market, they do get a discount on that as well because they are bringing their own oil.
Right.
We usually, whatever oil they want to bring in, and if it is the correct oil, we'll use it. If it's not the correct oil, which does happen sometimes, we do advise the customer.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what if they're adamant about putting the incorrect oil in? Do you say we can't do that?
here.
We can't do that.
Sign
You
here,
have to go
void
to you have to go to
warranty.
ABC Lube to do it.
We
or-
do advise them not to, because it can void warranty, especially if you have a newer vehicle.
Sure.
Usually, our prices are very competitive.
Very
why
competitive.
bring your own oil? Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize
Exactly.
that how cheap
A lot of people.
our
We
oil
get a
changes
lot of
actually are
people,
compared
yes.
to anywhere else. It's amazing. I mean,
Right.
Coming from
'cause-
Jiffy Lube, things like that, they pay well over $100 for an
Yeah.
oil
Right.
change, where we charge $50, $60, $80 at the
Like-
most for, fully synthetic
Yeah.
Corvettes.
Right.
yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to ask you was, what do you give the customer, as far as, if they do the rotation with the oil change and all that, do you give them like a checkoff list or something that would indicate everything that was done to their vehicle, so that when they leave, they know that certain things were checked on the
checked
vehicle,
off the-
and
yeah,
all checked
mhm,
off.
totally.
So when they leave, they have a comprehensive report
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
what's going
and,
on.
and
Yeah,
things that they may need.
Yeah,
that can
exactly.
wait,
We go
right.
over that. It's called a multi-point inspection. Service also offers
Yep.
it. Usually they print it on every single one. We do it's called just a multi-point inspection. It's a visual inspection of belts, hoses, wiper blades, fluids, things like that. If the technician notices that there's anything off that's needed, they come and tell the advisor, or we tell the customer.
Also, we have a pit stop. Tell them about that.
Pit stops as well.
Yep.
Yes, thank you, Nick. We offer a pit stop service free of charge. A customer can come in anytime, top off the fluids, check the tire pressure, anything like that for free.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Pit
Didn't
stop
know.
That's something we
service.
offer.
See?
Most people don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
I'm an employee
Yeah.
there and didn't know that.
Come in for pit stop, bud.
Yeah, anytime. I'll
Yeah.
take you.
Yeah.
Takes about 15 minutes at the most. It's really quick.
Wow.
Get
Biggest thing,
customers
too,
in and out.
You mentioned the like the rotations and stuff. Some people don't want to have their tires rotated. I recommend doing it. The reason why is
Totally.
I've had a lot of people recently where I've noticed they haven't. Their brakes have gone metal to metal and they had
Yeah.
no idea. So it's a big
Right,
thing to
because they
make
never
sure
took the
you
tire off
rotate
to take a
every
look
time
at
you
it.
do that oil change because you'll never know how your brakes are looking.
Or also where
Yeah.
customers take it to, say, Les Schwab, Costco, things like that. They get their tires rotated there, but they don't check brakes there. So they never know the condition of their brakes until they're metal to
Because they
metal.
don't do brake jobs
needing
there.
Then,
rotors.
then you got rotors and
Yep.
all sorts of
Yeah.
things, drums.
Yeah, because normally that's where you're going to find out. You're going to find out in the express lube
Yes,
area,
on
in the area
inspection,
where you
exactly.
work at,
Yeah.
that maybe they need brakes.
You got it.
Like my car.
Yes, yeah, we just did brakes on yours.
You actually need a driver for your car,
but you know what? You know what?
Operator
With these new cars now, I mean, with these new cars now, in the old days, people used
there
to
was
be able
three.
to work on them,
Uh-huh.
and all that. But the new
tough
generation,
nowadays.
the
It's
new
tough.
generation, I don't see that. I see
Yeah.
them relying on us.
Oh, yeah, totally.
To help them,
Exactly.
determine what needs to be done on
Yeah,
their
a
car.
lot of customers come in not knowing, anything, but they're always welcome to ask us any. No, not to where they don't know anything, but regards to new vehicles, things
Right.
like that, what oils it takes. I have customers that have worked on cars when they're, when they were younger, and they're like, all these new things are on these vehicles, 8 quarts of oil. They're like,
8 quarts
how
of
is
oil,
this,
yeah. Zero
quarts oil is-
W20.
Yeah, 0.20.
Yeah.
There's a 0.16 weight.
Yep.
Yeah, and so it's just we find these things out. As
Let's
they come
talk
out.
about that a second. That's a good question because when I was growing up, we gave them hay and they kept moving.
Totally. Yeah.
But now the different grades of oil, I think it was 1030 when I was growing up. That
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
And now they have 1040. And what do those numbers mean for people like myself that really don't know what they mean? That might be interesting for
Mm-hmm.
some of the people here.
It just depends on like to say the weight of
Right.
the oil. It depends on heating conditions.
So
cold
like
conditions.
a 10 or 1030.
Uh-huh.
What does the 10 represent?
That's what a lot of ours run. Well, 10,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of it's your weight and thickness and whatnot of the oil itself.
And then 30?
Viscosity.
Yeah, 30. Remember the old straight 30 weight? That's a thick stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
but
yeah.
yeah,
So that oil, viscosity, is that the right word?
viscosity.
I don't know how to spell it, folks, but I said it.
It's all right.
Anyhow,
Yeah.
it runs between 10 and 30, depending on the heat of the engine.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like our newer vehicles, a lot of them are running like our Dexus and stuff.
0.20.
020. Yeah, that's which is a little bit thinner. I would
Yeah.
guess you would
Is
say.
zero like really thin? Is that
thin.
what we're
Yeah,
saying?
it's thin.
And
It's a
then
very
20
thin
or,
oil. Mhm.
Yeah, the
wow.
engines are built a lot different now than they ever were in the past.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Lines are a lot
so it's
thinner.
really important. It's really important that the oil that they're
Use
they're
the oil.
Yes, use
Using
the correct oil.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
because in the Chevys now we've got what is it,
Dexos.
Yeah.
Dexos, right? And
We've been
that-
synthetic since 2011 now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a
Ours.
50-50 or is that a full
It used to be.
synthetic?
They actually
Yeah, this was
moved
a
it to
blend.
fully synthetic
Oh,
about
it
2
is a
years
fully
ago. It is a
synthetic
fully.
now.
Yeah, GM
Wow.
went fully synthetic on
Now,
it.
see,
It's
a
a good
lot of
thing.
times
Yeah.
customers won't know, and this is an opportunity for us to really build confidence with the customers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the more that we can inform them about what what you're telling us right now, creates that bond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That this they know what they're talking about. They're trying to guide me. To servicing my car
Right.
properly, and I'm getting educated about how to do this
Yeah.
because a lot of people just don't know. And
No,
Right,
they don't.
exactly, yeah.
They come in for an oil change and they expect you to know.
Exactly.
The other question I have about the weight and so forth that we're talking about is this. Does it matter how the person drives that vehicle?
No, not so much. 'cause
It's
nowadays,
about the engine.
Most
the
of
engine-
that
it's
and
the engine
conditions
itself.
of
Yeah.
California, things
Right.
like that. We're considered
Weather and
extreme.
that time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you.
Extreme
Winter,
weather, that's-
summer.
So it's not how you
today,
drive
yeah.
the car, it's the conditions that you drive in.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember, that's all I can do is remember. But anyhow, they
can't.
used to have huh?
I said I can't.
Yeah, exactly. They used to have a break-in period on engines. That was a big thing. We used
Oh,
to
back
tell
in the day,
them,
take it
you
easy
had-
for the first 500
500 miles,
Right,
right?
right.
And then it came out later. Just drive the car the way you normally
Yeah.
drive it.
Right.
It'll break into however.
Absolutely.
There's no. So why
It's not like it
why
was
did
back
that
in the day.
change, or was that just a?
It's different the way engines are built now. I mean, tolerances and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, nowadays
Science.
they figure stuff out over the course of the years that, hey, you know what? Maybe back in the day we're a little too easy on steam. You just drive it normal. You don't have to worry
Yeah.
about your whole brake and stuff. Just, I wouldn't hook up to a fifth wheel and take off pulling a huge load over the grapevine
Right,
right off the
right.
get-go after, you just got a motor put in. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, normal driving. Yeah, shoot, just do your normal driving. You know?
Wow.
Well, remember, oil changes used to be every 3,000 miles.
That's
Yeah,
the next thing
that's
I was
how they're
going
The
to.
old
5,000.
fallacy. The old
Yeah.
Now-
I'm going to tell you something though on oil changes.
Yeah.
What I've noticed, go 5,000 miles.
Yeah,
A lot of
definitely.
people are
Or
trying to wait
up
till
more.
you're hitting the the 0 percentile on your oil life.
Right.
Which a lot of people say, hey, you can go ahead and do it. Don't. Vehicles, I mean, over time they're gonna use some oil. It's a given.
Right.
Get down to 20 percentile is the best way to go.
Yes.
Or 5,000 miles. Whatever occurs first is their best
Yeah.
way to go.
That's GM recommendation.
In my situation, the truck I drive, I don't drive a lot of miles, so
Yeah.
that's actually about 35 is when I start thinking, even though I'm not close to the miles
Yeah.
yet, you know.
You know what? This is what I always tell people: you're better to over maintain than under maintain.
Right.
I mean, it's seriously. If you want your vehicle to last, I mean, people come in. I'll say, hey, what are your long-term goals with your vehicle? You want
Right.
to keep it a long
Yeah.
time.
Right.
Over maintain.
Yeah, right.
Do everything you can. Oil change every
Definitely.
5,000 miles.
It's less expensive to do that than repair things.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Also, too, I mean, nowadays vehicles are built to last way longer than they ever were back in the
Right.
day. So, I mean, I have a lot of people trying to call me and ask, hey, I need a tune-up. I mean, today I think I have like 3 calls. I need a tune-up. How many miles do you have on your vehicle? 60,000. vehicles nowadays, your tune-ups at 100,000
100,
miles. You
yeah.
don't need all that servicing back in the day where you had to do, your transmission service so crazy
Every
often.
30.
You had to
Okay,
check
things
the
like that,
points
yeah.
and
Yeah, you're
you
doing
don't. Do you go back to those days?
back in the day, man. Back in the old school.
The points and the condenser and all that type of thing. Yeah.
Distributors and whatnot. But yeah, nowadays, I mean, your maintenance is going to be, every 5,000 miles, oil changes, tire rotations, cabin filter. Most cars have cabin filters
Right.
now. So yeah, every 20,000 miles, depending on conditions.
Right.
And what's
What
the-
is the cabin filter? I mean, what
Yeah.
what's the deal on that?
So that's cleaning all. We're quizzing you. No, so cabin filter, it cleans all the outside air before it comes into the cabin of the vehicle.
Okay.
Air conditioning. Mhm.
Pollen's a huge thing. Anybody that has, say allergies and whatnot.
Right.
Oh man, it's huge to keep that thing,
Definitely.
And they're usually under the dash somewhere, right?
Passenger
Or in-
side.
Passenger
Yes.
side.
Yep.
Now, again, I had a buddy of mine who has an HHR,
Yeah.
and I don't know what the cost was at Chase Chevrolet to do it, but he said, "Oh, that's too much money." So he did it himself, but he said, "What a project!" Because he actually had to take part of his dashboard off to
You
get
do.
to him.
And also too, I can tell when other places where other people try to install,
Oh, yeah.
they come in whistling.
Yes.
Oh,
Get
really?
Or
whistling
that
sound.
rattling sound. Yes.
Rattling sound,
I
you
get
could tell.
customers that come in. I tried to
Yeah, they've
replace
been
my
in
own
there.
cabin filter, and it's making this noise.
And every cabin filter is different, I'm sure, as far as price, but a range from
$59.95.
$60.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
About
is
$60
what they are.
Yeah.
It's totally worth it though. I'm telling you. 'cause
And
your
how
health-
long do they last?
20?
Yeah.
It depends on conditions. Like
Right.
somebody lives up in like say Valley
Dusty
Valley
area.
Springs
Yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You're going to be doing it a little more often. 20,000 miles, 25,000 miles at the most.
Right.
I have people that come in that have. They'll come in. Hey man, I'm telling you, my car just stinks. Cabin filter's dirty.
Cabin
Yeah.
filter's
It'll
dirty.
start smelling real musty and it's
Yeah.
real nasty. And
Right.
at that point, you have a cabin filter, and most people don't even know they ever had one.
Right.
So.
Right.
We've gotten
Yeah.
a couple where, customers don't know they have them and they've never serviced with us or anything. So
Right.
usually we're like, replace that cabin filter. We've had where rodents make nests in them.
Right.
Yeah. 'Cause, no one
That-
knows, and they've had
Yeah.
these,
They're
rodent
dead in
nests
there,
in there,
yeah.
dead rodents in there, and they've
even
never
happens in
known
town.
they're in
Could you
there.
could you
Happens in
actually could you actually show them the cabin filter?
Oh, yeah.
it-
Oh,
I'd like
totally.
to actually, yeah, a lot of times.
no,
if
I mean-
it's that
I
bad, just to show them, hey,
Yeah.
this is what you
This
could
is what
have
you're
been
breathing in. Yes.
Right, because
But,
that would be. I mean, once they would see that, I mean, it's like your air conditioning filter. I
Yeah.
only change
Yeah.
it when holy cow.
That's
Jesus
exactly
Christ.
what it
right?
is. It's a
You
heavy
know what I mean?
filter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, then you're back to the maintenance. Your transmission services every 50,000 miles.
every 50,000 miles. So
Yes.
so basically, and then your of course your brakes are getting checked in between when
Yeah.
they're doing the
Yes.
rotation.
GM brakes
Every
are
oil
the
change,
best,
yeah,
man. Our
rotation.
GM brakes last longer than anything else out there,
Yes.
hands down.
Yeah.
Everybody brakes differently.
Yes.
My wife likes to go to 100 miles an hour and then jam it on to stop.
She's a good driver.
Yeah.
Huh?
She's a good driver.
Anyhow, thanks for that, Roy. You're not making any brownie points with me, but you're doing a good job. But anyhow, so I'm the type of guy
Yeah.
when I'm driving on the freeway, and nothing irritates me worse than watching people. I call it the binders, so the brakes. The lights come on. It's like there's no off or exits. There's nothing.
Right.
What are we doing? And one guy hits them, everybody hits them.
Everybody hits them.
My thing is, depending on distance, I just take my foot off the gas. Your car,
Oh, yeah.
folks, your car will slow down.
Yeah.
Something else too, the biggest thing, people in the hills. If you're driving in the hills, if you want to just roast your rotors and have a crazy pulsation, there's the people that are riding their brakes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
When you're going down a hill, going down a grade,
Right.
shift down. Use
Shift
your
down,
transmission.
down, yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing too, because it'll save your brakes. And a lot of times, if
What
you
about
shift
your
down,
transmission, Nick?
it's fine.
Yeah,
It's
it'll,
made to do that.
it'll handle that.
It will
Then you
handle
can
it.
see Nick.
Hold you back.
Yeah.
No, it's not gonna hurt the transmission, but shift down.
Yeah, just
shift down a
shift
gear.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because what's gonna happen is your transmission will help you stop.
Right.
You'll never have to hit your brakes. I mean, unless somebody slams on the brakes in front of you. But
Right.
Yeah,
For
I mean, that's,
emergency stop. Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, we've come a long way with everything, safety stuff on the car.
Oh man.
Definitely.
People that I see that come in and buy cars, either new or used, they, we sell warranties. That's part of my job to do that, and the guys I work with, they say, well, so you're telling me I'm buying a piece of crap? No, I'm telling you that the odds are against you, and
Like
and you
electronics.
tell me if this is wrong, and I hope you'd be honest with me.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah. Be careful, you're on my show. but here's you're out of here. You're out of here. But I tell people, there's a reason the factory gives you 3 years, 36,000, bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
I said, because in today's day with computers, everything, every RO you write,
Yep.
every make and model of year you guys put in that system for whatever it might be goes in the computer. So they have that. And we're not the only dealership that does it. Across the United States and Canada, they do the same thing. So they look at all these things and they say, okay, if we're not giving up much by doing this is the factory talking, folks, not me.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
3 years, 36,000 miles, we're probably not going to have very minimal claims. So we look like the good guy. But after that, there's more likelihood. And I tell people it's probably not the engine and transmission, as well it could be. But
Never
most
know.
of the part,
I mean-
it's electronics, the computers,
Yeah.
the electrical.
lot.
Definitely.
Those are the type of things that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of electronics nowadays. I mean,
Yes.
How many
I-
computers are in a car? Not the main one, but all
well,
the.
I mean, yeah, but EBCM,
Sensors.
EBCM, BCM, PCM. I mean, the list goes on. But,
There's a lot of EMs in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you have your, different modules run so many different things. They'll have to communicate. One goes down, system
them all
can't
down,
talk.
yeah.
So.
Right.
I would definitely say it's better nowadays to have an extended warranty,
Right.
just in case. You might not ever use it, but it's there just
All
in
it
case.
takes is one time.
Yes.
I mean, cars are cars. You may have an issue someday, you may not.
Right.
Right, it is. It's a crapshoot.
Hopefully you don't, but you
it's
never
peace
know.
of mind.
Peace of mind,
That's
for
what
sure.
you're buying. peace of
Absolutely.
mind, Yeah.
I mean,
but again, yours is. I'm not going to say easier than Nick's, but you usually get people that are in there for maintenance items. Usually,
exactly. Usually.
but Nick gets people, and you're going to tell me a few stories here when you
Yeah.
get one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They come in, kind of like with our side of the business. People are very apprehensive. Although today's buyer is a lot more intelligent than years prior, they have a lot more information they can get readily available, so on and so forth. So they shouldn't feel that way, but they do.
Yeah.
So you have to overcome that, and there's ways for us to do it. So you get a guy that comes in and he's got the diesel truck and blah 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 blah, and he's got a problem, and you happen to be the guy that he comes up to, and he's hotter than a hornet. This pile of crap I bought, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and I know you don't. You might. I don't know how many you get, but if you got one every week, that's one too many. But how do you handle a guy like that?
I mean, so people that come to see me usually don't want to come see me because that means they have an issue.
Right.
Somebody comes in hot like that. Actually, I like that situation when I get to go in and actually make somebody feel better about the whole
Right. situation.
To me, it's a challenge, and I love it. But my biggest thing is to make them feel like, hey, you know what, we're here for you. Whether it's we give them, of course, give them a ride home or give them something to drive. If they're under warranty, or I just want to let them know that, hey, I'm here for you. I've been in your situation. And I'll do whatever I can in my power to make it the easiest experience, the best experience. And I always let them know when they come into me, if there's anything better I can do, let me know.
Right.
I always I've been doing this for a long time, but I can always improve too.
Right.
Let me know whatever I can do to make it easy for you.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, as far as people come in like that, I like that challenge. I love helping people out, and
Yeah.
to me, it's rewarding. If I get to go home at night and know that I helped somebody out in that situation,
Right.
and they left smiling, man, that's great.
Exactly.
Everybody smiles at Cat.
How could you not? Look at Kat.
Yeah, look at
Look
that.
at her. Everybody just
We
look
got
at
her in the right spot.
Right?
you know?
Now you guys
Thanks.
got me.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know what they say, the best friend for politician's best friend is a beautiful smile.
Right?
Because when they're approaching you and they got a problem,
It's a new one, but it works. Hey.
when they're
I like
approaching you and they
Yeah.
have a problem, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Yeah.
You wanted your best bet to try to resolve it.
Right.
And give them the biggest damn smile you can give them.
That's
And
right.
that's the honest to God truth. If you and
It
you
is
can
true.
try that,
Smile goes a long
because
way.
because
Definitely,
if you
it really
if
does.
you-
Friendly, yeah.
It really
if
does.
you've got this and you got that, it's kind of tough to overcome. But
Yes.
the smile will get
It's hard
you.
to
and she
argue
has
with
a
somebody
beautiful smile,
smiling.
so
Yeah.
I
See,
know
I can't argue now.
No,
But
Yeah.
but see, the reason why I really respect both of you,
Thanks.
What about
and
me?
and even no, not
I
you.
respect you.
But even and I know what the service writers in your area do. Okay.
Yeah.
Typically, when a customer comes in to see you,
Yep.
okay, it's for a bigger service.
It is.
People always think, the
route to get 'em.
the
Lot of
monthly
time.
payment. Listen, the monthly payment,
Yeah.
I can do the
Yeah.
monthly payment.
I know.
But it's when they
know.
have to come in and do the water pump, or they got a radiator problem, or so they're coming in not happy.
Not happy.
And
You know
it's
where he wants
not
to-
your
yeah.
fault. It's
No.
not your fault.
No.
But that's where you have to use your skill, your skills to be able to
Right. Help them in their situation.
understand and,
Absolutely.
kinda-
For instance, I was telling the guys before the show, I had a customer the other day that she had called me up and she was just in tears because she was broken down,
Yeah.
bad part of town. So when she called me up, little did she realize that she actually still had a warranty she had no idea about. I was able to get her free tow, got her towed into the dealership. She had another warranty called PZEV. Most people don't know they have, and it's on a very select few vehicles, but GM puts it out there on some vehicles. Covers anything emission related, all the way up to 150,000 miles.
Wow.
So not only did she get a free tow, she was, just in tears, free tow. She also got her car fixed for free. She brought it to me at, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I believe. I had it back to her at 9 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
And so it turned, that was a bad situation for her that when she picked it up, I could tell she was happy,
Right.
and to have that situation turn positive,
Right.
to me, made me feel pretty good.
Exactly.
So that's great.
Yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
It's awesome.
And that's something that she's never going to forget,
No.
because
Totally.
how many service advisors would have gone gone
Above and beyond.
above and beyond to make sure,
Yeah.
and so you captured a customer for life. And you're in a business where that's where you make your income, and you have to take care of your customers.
Yes.
They have to continue coming back to you.
It's called word of mouth.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Take care of
so
them.
when your customers
Yeah.
come in, typically when your customers come in, they're a Chase Chevrolet customer, but when they come in, they've developed a relationship with you, and
Yep.
normally they'll ask for Nick.
Absolutely, yeah. So you get your clientele built up, and then you have just your regulars. Cool part is, the first time you get to know them real well, pretty well. The second time they come in, it's like the more often they come in, after all the maintenance and
Right.
stuff and repairs, kind of turn into family.
Yes.
For sure.
It's
Yeah.
pretty awesome the kind of relationship you can get. It's a really neat thing.
They can make your day by coming in.
They can.
You have a crappy day or something. They show up. You're like, talk to them. Like,
Right.
Hey,
Totally.
what have you been doing since last time I saw you a few months
Ask
ago?
about the family and the kids,
Exactly.
and it's like, yeah,
I
it's-
have customers. We talk about family, things like
Yeah.
that. I see their kids grow. It's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, I had a customer of mine. I think you used to be a service advisor.
He's still there. What do you mean?
I'm still there.
Oh no!
buddy.
Well, he
It's
moved.
funny.
He moved to Reno. The customer moved to Reno.
okay.
But
We're worth
he
the drive
he
back, by the
told
way.
me, and they bought several vehicles from Chase Chevrolet.
Yeah.
He told me that it's the service department was his thing. His thing was, man, because he's a very busy businessman.
Yeah.
And his thing was, hey, I'm going to drop it off, and I'm going to trust you to take care of it, and then tell me what time to pick it up or whatever you got to do. And to this guy, to him, that was the most important thing. It was drop it off, get it fixed, put me back on the road, and I'm good to go.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, one time he called me, and they had broken into his. They had broken his window. He was over at Lincoln Center, and they popped his window,
no.
took his wife's coat or something.
You
You know.
just got lost our people at Lincoln Center.
And he
Thanks
called.
for that.
Well, it happens everywhere.
We
We're
lost
sorry,
some
Lincoln
clientele
Center.
there. Yeah.
But he had a good meal there.
Great
How was
shopping.
it before?
Yeah.
But he called me on a Saturday, because we work in a culture. It's the Chase Chevrolet culture. It's all in us. But he called me on a Saturday. He goes, "Hey, Roy," he goes, "this is what I need for you to do." And he's just flat out front. I ain't got no time for this. I got a busted window. I've got the car in front of my house. What should I do? And I said, "Okay, you leave the key. You put the key underneath the mat. And what I'm going to do is I'll get somebody over there to put the window in."
Yeah.
So I made a phone call, guy went over there, put the window in, key was there, boom, boom, boom. He calls me up and says, "Hey, perfect pit stop." Because that's, that was his key. And you kind of get to know what your customer's keys are, what I mean?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You can put somebody in,
sure.
you can put somebody in a loaner for, and some will be in there for a while and it's okay with them. But some of them, hey man, I want my car tomorrow. You know what I
Most
mean?
people, it's like their
They
mobile
want
office.
it yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
Farmers, for instance,
Yeah.
Farmers.
gosh dang, they have every tool that known to man in the back of the truck.
Exactly.
In the back, now, when
They're
they come
not
in, like,
taking
we need
those
it back
out
now.
right
Yeah.
now.
It's like,
Yeah.
let's make it happen.
Yeah, and you guys do,
We try our best. Yes,
I'd say we
definitely.
definitely have the best team I mean, I've worked for
Talk
different
about that,
dealerships
yeah.
and whatnot, over the course of the years. It actually took me a little while to get into Chase. Originally, when I moved down here, my wife's from Stockton. I'm from Woodland originally.
Right.
Chase wasn't hiring when I came down, so it took me 3 years to get in.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chase is awesome. I mean, as far as the team, every
Right.
service advisor, there's not a bad rider there.
Right.
It's like a family. We all take care of each other. We take care of each other's customers as if they're our own.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Which is really cool. I mean, it's nice having that kind of thing where you can trust everybody. But it's a good team. I mean, for the customers, you can come in, you can trust everybody there.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
which is
the
really
interesting
nice.
thing was, that because you have your sales department, and you have your service department.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I mean, this has been a culture that has been built, over years.
Yeah.
Sales was kind of separate from service.
Other
Right.
side of the tracks, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Way.
it was
Yeah,
always-
we
We were
call it
literally
across the
It was
way.
always, that's right, from all the way back to the original days.
before your time.
You had to go. You had to go across the tracks to get there.
Yeah.
But
way
you know
worse.
what I noticed, was that there was a change, and sales and service were beginning to work together.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so now, when a customer, because a lot of times a customer, when he has a problem with his vehicle, he's going to go directly to the salesperson.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
All the
Yes.
time.
All
And
the
that's not a
time.
bad thing. Actually,
Yeah.
I would like to know about what it is, so that when I walk him into you,
Good idea.
at least you're not seeing him, red hot. I
Yeah.
mean, he's talked to me, and then I'm telling him, hey, we're going
Right.
to get this, we'll get this resolved. But there's a communication now between sales and service that's so important. You guys
We
bring
just covered it
customers
recently
up.
back in the other day as far as, like you're saying, years past, dealerships and stuff. You didn't quite have it as much.
Right.
Nowadays, it's strong and it's cool. I mean, it's
Yeah.
good to see.
It is.
Yeah.
But I mean, I always tell the sales guys too, like, if you ever need something, call me at any time. I don't care if I'm not at work, call me. I'm there.
And I know Chase is big in training, and you guys are involved
Oh,
in
yeah.
training pretty much on a
A lot of
regular
training.
Oh,
basis.
yeah.
too.
We
You
have a
have to
lot of
be.
training. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Have to be
it
up on
shows.
it. I have to be up on it. I mean, there's so much stuff
Everything.
coming out nowadays.
Yeah.
Infotainment stuff like that.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Right.
If you don't know it,
Apps,
Lot of
things
new
like
stuff,
that.
huh?
Yeah,
in
we have a
trouble.
new the points system. I'm sure you guys know
Oh,
about
My
it too.
Rewards.
Yeah, my rewards.
Yes.
And
You getting some of
I
that
just
now?
got my $15 one.
oh, I know. Yeah,
You
Hey.
guys- yeah.
You're rich.
that's $15 off an oil change.
Yeah,
It is.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or parts. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
you can
pretty
use
cool
it on
deal.
anything, and that's an awesome thing that GM's come out with now. And
Yep.
we have a lot of customers that have signed up for it, and they love it. You know,
Really?
'cause-
Okay,
yeah.
so we're getting really good feedback
We
on
are.
that.
a lot.
For the people that haven't bought a car from us that might be listening,
Mm-hmm.
all two of you. No, I'm kidding.
No, about
But-
2,000.
But okay, right. Anyhow, explain how you get it and how it works.
So I know that it starts off with
Yeah, the
buying a
sales
car,
department,
right?
yep.
Sales department. They show them how to sign up for it. I think that
The
there's
app.
Right.
the app explains everything.
Right.
They earn points when they buy the vehicle.
Right.
I'm not sure of the points, but I know it's a lot. And then points, turns into dollar amounts that they can trade in for us. But also servicing things, buying parts.
Yeah.
You can use those points, and then you can turn them into money to use back when you come back.
Right.
And
So
yeah, it's an awesome thing.
you're experiencing some of that now.
Oh yeah, a
People are-
lot of it. A
Well,
lot.
that's wonderful
Yeah.
because I mean, a lot of times we don't get to see how often it's being used
Yeah.
in the back.
Oh, yeah, a
because we're signing them up for the front, on the
Yeah.
front end, and we
Yeah.
tell them about it, But it's nice to know
Mm-hmm.
that they're probably receiving some information, probably from GM also,
Right.
to follow up on
Yeah.
it. But that's nice that they're asking for
It is,
to
yes.
use it.
Yeah.
That's a good program because
It
you
is.
want them to use it.
It's really great. It's great because then you can use that along with your coupons, things like
Right.
that. You bring
Right.
a coupon in for $10, $15 off. You have another the GM rewards
Right.
for $25 off. That's pretty much almost a free oil
Yeah.
change there.
right?
So yeah, it's awesome. So
That's
yeah.
good stuff. We're reaching out to get our customers, and I think a lot of it is to keep them to us. I mean, obviously there's many choices out there, and many makes and models, not just
yeah.
in Chevrolet, but there's a lot of, even from when I started, I mean, it's mass compared to
Yeah.
that, and we have to do our due diligence to keep our customer base.
Yeah.
Make them as happy as we can. Some guys get a little ridiculous, and we have to say no, but that's very far and few between. But
Definitely.
Yeah,
I think as a whole unit that store does very well.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've been around for how many years, Roy? Since 1944, Roy, I'll help you out.
Oh, yeah, 1944.
In 1944.
75.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm coming up
years.
on 75, right?
75
Yeah,
years.
75 years. So
If my math's correct. I'm not in finance, though, so.
Get out your calculator.
Yeah.
So it's been a hard fought effort. The two Johns that run the facility, we take care of the customers. We've talked about this on prior shows. Sometimes we even go over and above what we really needed to do, because you can advertise all you want, but
Yeah.
you can spend millions of dollars advertising on TV and radio and the media and like social media, all that type of thing. But if you don't treat them right, you're not going to keep
You're
them.
so right.
And I said this story earlier today to a customer, and a guy named Ed Miller, who was probably 65 when I started. I was 28 or 9. He looked at me one day. I respected the guy. He's just a nice man.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "Just keep this in your mind. You can shear a sheep every year, but you only can skin them one time." And that's resonated throughout my years
Yeah.
in the car business. And I tell people that, profit's not a bad word, but we're not going to make enough that we can shut our doors down for months at a
Right.
time
Yes,
and be
exactly.
okay.
Absolutely.
It's just not how it works, And I think people feel that and appreciate that, not
Yeah.
just from our department, but from all the departments. So.
And you know what? We're competitive.
Very,
We're
yeah.
we're always competitive. I mean, like even on tires.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard customers say, "Hey, Roy, I needed tires, and I checked 3 different places, and you guys were right there."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so that was good for me to hear, because I don't know what the price of the, but
Right.
I sold 3 sets of tires in the last 2 days, and
Nice.
they tire shopped all around, and they came back to get tires from us.
Wow.
Yeah.
We offer
So-
also what's called price match guarantee. They can shop around as long as it's not, Costco brands, things like that. If they bring us a printed quote from, their original La Schwab, things like
Right.
that, we can honor that.
Yep.
We'll take that tire quote and then they save their money right there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. A lot
Yeah.
of good stuff. And I got one little story with my own insurance company. He bought 5 cars from us not this Christmas past, but Christmas before, anyhow. And I got on him because I've been with him since '96. I'm the same insurance guy. I said, "How come my premiums? I haven't had an accident. My premiums going up and up and up and up. What's up, man? You guys shop cars. Why can't And he goes, "The reason," and it makes sense after he told me. So the reason they're going up is all the safety equipment on these cars.
Oh, yeah.
It costs.
Makes
What
sense.
used to be a fender bender
Right.
is very costly
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
Really.
I mean,
All these sensors
talk
in
about
there
that
now,
a little bit
things like
about
that.
Stuff on 'em, yeah.
some
Yeah.
of the safe. I've been selling cars since '83, so that's a long time ago. They've improved immensely. Safety. There's so many things to these cars now that will help you if you get in an accident. But go ahead and explain.
Well, yeah, we have your your side collision alert. The vehicles actually have what they call a haptic motor built into the driver's seat now. Somebody's coming up next to you, it'll vibrate the seat.
Vibrate the
Oh,
seat.
that-
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's so much to these now.
Yeah.
You have it's kind of cool now too. They have the satellite where you can actually see above you,
Above your
looking down on your vehicle, so you can
all
see
4,
surrounding
surround sound, yeah,
stuff
surround
around you.
sight,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
So cool, yeah.
I mean, this is stuff coming out now. It's like back in
Airbags
the day,
coming
you're
out
like,
of everywhere.
Oh my gosh, stuff like that's ever gonna, it's like
And,
the
and,
Jetsons.
and, and everything makes the driving experience, better.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's just that there's more on there.
There's more to
Exactly.
it.
Yeah.
There's more on those vehicles. So
I find nowadays too, not to interrupt you, but it's
Yeah.
funny. People are way more into the infotainment stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
All of the gadgets on it like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
than the way the
Uh-huh.
vehicle runs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that
They're-
amazing,
I
huh?
tell you what, if a cell phone goes down,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
my
yeah, that's
gosh.
right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like they have so much stuff on them, and we get so used to it. And it's nice to have that stuff. I mean, when you're used to
yeah.
having all that stuff,
Yeah.
it's pretty
And-
awesome.
See, we have some of us old fuddies that have been around a while, but most of our guys are young, 30s, most of them are younger. And so they grew up with this. Not so much where we're at today,
Yeah.
but they grew up with, I'm back. I told somebody this other day, my father had a 56 Buick Century, and it had a 45 record player in it.
Oh my God. Huh?
Yeah, have you ever
A-track,
seen one of
That's,
those?
no,
It
I've seen the
fits-
A-track, but never seen
Yeah,
one of
I've
those.
never
Yeah.
seen that.
It actually fit underneath the glove box.
Yeah.
And you opened it down right, so the mouth's open.
Yeah.
the record went attached to the roof of the device, and then you closed it, and the needle was in there,
Sounds
Wow.
so
and it would
cool.
play. Yeah.
Back in the day, you're like, this is the best
This
thing
is the-
ever.
Oh yeah, right.
Technology.
And so I mean, and technology is just unbelievable, and
Yeah.
and I think what I tell people is just all you have to do is know about one or two of them, because most people, you got to know what kind of car they came out of, especially if they came
Yeah.
out of even in early 2000s,
Yeah.
or even
Yeah.
mid 2000s. They weren't like they are today.
Right.
Right.
Well, and I tell people nowadays, after you buy a vehicle, if you have any questions, come see me, because I
Right.
can explain how to use any of that stuff.
Right.
If you have any
Right.
questions, even
Right.
pairing
Right.
Yeah.
phones, whatever you
Bluetooth.
want to do.
Yeah.
Come see me.
Well,
That's what I'm here for.
we have a day once a month. We
First
have a
Wednesday
demo
of the
day
month.
where we send out a letter to the new customers that just
Nice.
purchased and to
Yeah.
come in between a certain time. And we have guys that will go over everything with them in more detail.
Yeah.
Maybe they missed something along
That's
the way.
yeah, that's a cool thing. We have that 'cause
Yeah.
not all dealerships do that
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
But we do
That's-
have
that's
talking about the sales department now.
Yeah.
We have some guys, I'm telling you, just like you, very impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
they are sharp, and they know what they're doing, and they know the vehicles.
Like Roy and Rick,
Great.
right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Roy and Rick.
Oh,
Well,
you
me,
guys.
I forgot half of mine.
I
But I
can
mean,
pair a phone. I'm up to that level right now.
but they, like you take a guy like Gary Pardini, who's sold cars forever.
Yep.
Well, he does the most thorough delivery out of all of them.
Right.
But the younger guys, and I say younger, but they all have families and stuff. But they're just as good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and I'm looking forward to having a few of those guys on too, to have a little fun with them, because to deliver a car now, on our side, we try to show them, as much as we can as
Right.
far as how everything functions. But it's kind of it can be a
Overwhelming.
bit
You guys all do a good job, though.
overload.
You guys do
Yeah.
a good job.
Overload.
We never
you
hear
know.
complaints. So
No.
Yeah,
we would.
I mean, there's
when they,
We would.
when
Yeah, we
they
would hear it.
when
So
they
doing
come to
good.
you,
Yeah.
it's because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
probably missed something.
Well,
I
they're
guess
always
not.
welcome to
Yeah.
ask us questions. If we don't know it, our techs are also really good at things like that, Bluetooth pairing.
Yep.
Setting things to where they like to see the odometer where it says sometimes the oil light or the
Right, yeah,
mileage,
yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
A
Personal
lot of
information and all
customers
that.
will hit a button and they're like,
Yeah,
"Whoa,
they're
what
lost.
happened?"
What
Yes.
happened?
Exactly.
So they're
lost.
like thinking they broke something.
Right,
So bring
yeah.
it in, or
Yeah.
you can even call us. We can tell you over the phone how
Right,
to do it.
Right, exactly.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, tell me about the communication, because
Yep.
I mean, you're at the front, you're dealing with the customers, they come in, right? The communication between you and now the mechanic that's working on your vehicle.
Yes.
How does because that's an interesting dynamic. I mean, you're
Yeah.
pushing him to get it done, and he's giving you this is
Oh,
what's wrong
yeah.
with it. How does that all work, man?
Well, man, okay, it's complicated.
Yeah.
No, okay. So basically, when we write people up, of course, we're your point of contact, but we're also out there with the technicians trying to not rush them, but we're definitely on them trying to get everything done in the most timely manner that we can, because we
Right.
understand people don't want to have their vehicles and sitting in the shop.
Yes.
Right.
You need your vehicle, and we get it. So
Right.
what we're trying to do is constantly push to try to get the vehicle done as fast as we can.
Right.
But then again, one thing, you never want to rush a tech.
Right.
I mean, because you want to get the job done right at the same time. So,
Right.
Yeah, there's a certain
But
balance
they
between,
keep you informed as far as what what's
Absolutely.
going
Oh,
on.
yeah.
They keep us informed the whole way, and then we also go out. I always, throughout the day, I'm out in the shop a lot because
Right.
I have a whole list as far as, we call it a carryover sheet. I have every single customer I ride up, exactly what I'm doing to that vehicle, and every single, I'll have sometimes 30, 35 vehicles in there.
Right.
They're in my name. So I'll go out and I'll walk the entire shop. I want to know every single update, when I think the vehicle is going to be done.
Right.
How long does it take for parts to come in? So we're talking to the techs nonstop throughout the entire day.
Oh yeah.
Now,
No,
see
but,
this is the other thing I got to ask you, because I know this is this is very tough. What you guys do is very difficult. What I do is pretty easy. But when the customer, I just lost my train of thought.
Let me ask.
Go ahead and pick it up right there, Rick.
See if
I need
you can
you
find
there.
your
I'm gonna
brain
try to
while
find
I'm
it.
out.
I'm gonna try to find it right now.
We at Chase have always had a dispatcher.
Right.
I know what a dispatcher is. You do, obviously, as you guys do.
Yeah.
Explain to them what the dispatcher does and how they're like a middleman between you and the technician.
All right. So when I have a dispatcher or
Five.
our dispatcher at work, basically it's Gayla Washington.
Geico.
Geico.
She's awesome. Awesome
Really?
lady.
She's
Yes.
basically what keeps the order of the shop.
Yes.
Okay?
Right.
So what happens is we write the vehicle up, we help the customer write it up. We actually go back to Gay and we actually give her the repair order. She inputs it in the computer, and then she's the one that actually, picks which technician is going out to and whatnot throughout the day and keeps order at the shop.
Yeah.
If we didn't have her, it'd be absolute chaos.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I-
we take 150, 160 cars in a
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Really?
And she knows,
Yeah.
every tech's, what they're skilled at, what they do,
She
what
knows
jobs they would be good at, what jobs that they shouldn't have. She knows her stuff.
Yeah.
That's now we've been running that since I was started.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed. We've had different dispatchers over the years, obviously.
Right.
But Gay does a great job.
Yep.
Now, I want to ask you, wherever you worked prior, they have what they call teams. I know what that means. I don't think Roy has a clue because look at his face. He has no
I'm trying to
clue.
think of that real important question.
But
Take your time.
It'll come back.
I know what. Explain
Yeah.
what a team is.
Well, some
a different
dealerships-
concept than a dispatcher.
Yeah, well, some dealerships have teams where you're a technicians or a service writers teamed up with certain techs.
Right.
Our dealership's not like that.
Right.
So for us, we deal with every tech.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing that's different about our dealership than any other dealership out there, right, which makes us special, I would say, is we have guys that just do suspension work, guys and brake work,
Right.
guys that just
Specialists.
do drivability. You have a check engine light on. I got my select few. That's what their specialty is.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody has their specialty, and they touch nothing but their specialty.
So we're almost like a doctor. You said we go to one doctor, he did it all.
Yep.
Now you
Yeah.
got nose, ear,
We're
all
like
that type
Kaiser.
of-
Yeah.
Do you have a do you have a general do you have a GP, a general practitioner?
Right?
do,
We got a few of those.
We have those guys.
Yeah,
that
we
are
have
Those are the
go-tos.
ones that direct them.
Yeah, but it makes us special. I mean, it makes us stand out. I'd say more so than some of the other dealers out there because it's we also have a quality control guy, Jeff.
Yeah.
When we fix your vehicle, when I call you and say your car's done,
Yeah.
great thing about it, we had another separate guy that's actually test driven your vehicle, gone through everything that the technician touched,
Right.
just to make sure it's fixed right.
Now you just led me into my question that I
Back
forgot.
at you, big guy.
Thank you, my friend. Hey,
Bailed you out
there's
again,
an
huh, Roy?
enormous amount of follow-up that you have to do.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, normally, yeah, and you have follow-up too because some people have to leave their cars. But I know that normally they're
yeah.
leaving it for a day or two. Tell me how because to the customer, the
Yeah. Communication's huge.
It's key.
it's
Yes.
huge,
Huge.
and you have a huge workload.
Yes.
So you have
Yeah.
you have to make that kind of work throughout your day.
Absolutely. So we try our absolute hardest. I mean,
Yeah, I know
with
it's
that
gotta
in
be
the
difficult.
summertime. Summertime workload is we have a lot of cars that come in.
Yeah.
So our job is to keep in contact with the customer as much as we can.
Right.
A lot of times, if it gets crazy busy, I'll even pass out my cell phone number. Send me a text. Let's text back and forth because sometimes
Right.
if I'm in the middle of doing something out in the shop, I can
Right.
still text with you back and forth.
I see what
Makes
you're
life
saying.
easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and communication is huge, and I definitely pride myself with trying to keep up as much as I possibly
Right.
Yeah, it's,
can. But,
like you said,
yeah.
in one day you can write 30 repair orders.
Nah, I'd say yeah.
I
Well,
mean-
there's 6 of us, so I would say an average day is going to be 15 to 20 each.
But that's
But a lot of
if
those
they
cars
don't,
stay overnight.
yeah, exactly. As I was going to say, so you write 20 today,
Yeah.
and maybe 12 leave, and 18 stay, or 8 stay.
Yeah.
And then
It
the
keeps
next
getting
day you
built
write,
up and
yeah,
built up
right.
and built up.
So
And,
it's
yeah.
a lot of workload. I mean, it's to keep everybody informed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yours might be a little simpler because usually they're
Smaller
in the morning.
services, I get them in and
Now,
out. Yeah.
I do have a question for you that just came to me.
Oh, that's the one you lost, huh?
Not me. I tried to lose you, but that's another story. We just can't be separated.
That's right.
But anyhow, when we first did this lube, separate lube bay, what, and that was competition around Stockton. It was like 30 minutes. You had to have the car in and out within.
Yeah.
There was a time frame. 30 minutes
Right.
may not have been correct,
Yeah.
and that's gone away.
Well, average service, once it's in the shop, oil rotation, brake inspection.
Once in the
things-
shop, that
Once
is
in
the
the
key.
shop that's what we tell customers. 45 minutes is our average. I think it's a 7/10 job. We try not to rush the tech. Same thing. You want the tech to do the right
Right.
job.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, oil change 30 minutes or less. Once it's in the shop, oil changes are a lot quicker.
Right.
But yeah, same
Well,
thing.
and you know what? If you have a customer, just send them up front. Just-
Yeah, go see Roy.
Most of them come anyway,
Yeah.
and then you know what
Yeah.
they do
They
when
like
they
to
do.
get new
I mean,
cars.
the regulars.
Yeah.
They'll come in and they'll visit with their salesperson.
Cup of
You know what I
coffee with
mean?
the salesman.
And
Yep.
and that creates that relationship.
That's
You know,
awesome.
solidifies
Absolutely.
that
Some
relationship
customers
on the
buy
sales
new
end.
cars while they're getting service.
Exactly, a
happens
lot
all
of
the
them.
time.
A
Yeah,
lot
it
of
happens
them.
a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's it's a good feeling, and like I said, like in anything else, we all try to get along. Some of us better than others, but it's a good place to work. It's
Yeah.
always been good for me.
Yeah.
I appreciate every day when I go there that we're around good people. We all have our bad days, me more than most, but we try not to. We try to always think of the customer first. I think that's the key to our success. But I think by doing shows like this and what they do in the community pays off greatly. And you got to hear from Governor Don, who is the president, is that correct?
Yeah.
General manager.
General
excuse me.
manager.
Can't
Governor
get-
Don. Vote for Governor
but
Don.
He just talked to us, and I'm going to talk real briefly about this because it's something that we really should think about. They had a thing on a reunion on this past Sunday. It was where?
Roy was there. It was at Weber Park.
Yeah.
Oh,
Weber.
Weber.
I was there. I was present.
Okay.
Any questions?
You didn't bring one, but you showed up. But anyhow, so it was a good time, and they thought their attendance was down. However, some of the bands that were there said that they were just out of Santa Clara, and the only people that were there were security people and the people performing and the people working. They didn't have really anybody there because of all the stuff in society today that we're
Right.
having, these mass shootings. People are afraid to go out. Governor Don made a great point. We had a pretty good turnout for what they thought would be a little bit better, but from what they heard, Santa Clara is a lot bigger county than San Joaquin. And so what I'm trying to get at is down the road, we're going to be involved with the radio station here, the Voice of San Joaquin, and trying to get our community to come together. There's a lot of diversity. There's a lot of ethnic groups in our county, but we all have to be here for each other. We got to forget all the politics that go on in the world, all he said, she said, and all this type of thing. We're human beings. We're all human beings, and we need to pull together and become one. And so we're going to do our part to do that. So hopefully down the road in the future that we can have something that we can bring all cultures together under one area and have a good day and be blessed that we're out there with like-minded people.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yep.
I just want to put my little 2 seconds of community service there. But Roy, we got to close it up. We're
Last
probably
thing that I want to say is I want to thank both of these employees. These
friends.
Are, these
friends.
Are,
They're not our employees. We work.
Chevrolet
They're even
employees.
with us, Roy. I know.
Hey, but you know what? You know what? Hey, the people that I work with, and these are two of them.
Yes.
I mean,
We really appreciate you taking time out of your time.
Outstanding
It's great
people,
to be here. It's awesome.
outstanding
Yeah.
individuals, outstanding employees.
And one
These
quick,
are winners.
Thank you.
you guys have anything for us?
You guys are awesome. Yeah.
Better say that.
Hey, that $20 went a long way.
No more. No.
Yeah.
But
Nah, it's-
one last thing, we are going to do two of these shows a month. However, because of the hockey coming back with St. Mary's and my involvement with that, we're going to move this show from a Thursday to a Wednesday. So our next show, because Roy does not want to do one next Wednesday,
not next
we're
Wednesday.
going to do it September 4th.
September 4th.
September
Next Car
4th.
Guy show.
We'll be
September 4th.
and we'll be into 6 o'clock slot on those Wednesdays. Every other Wednesday, starting on the 4th. We'll keep you tuned in. If you have any suggestions for us, the topics you'd like us to cover, please feel free. Mine is Rick@ChaseChevrolet.com, and yours is Roy@ChaseChevrolet.com. Cat must be Cat@ChaseChevrolet.com.
Actually, QuickLube@ChaseChevrolet.com. Feel free to
And-
write us.
You know, for me, it's nickely27@gmail.com.
Oh, there you go. He's got
Send it
his
to that
own.
one.
So-
I got my own. I use my
Yeah,
own
so if
personal
you
account
have
to do that.
questions,
Don't be
he's going to know more about the
emailing him at
service.
night at 10 o'clock.
Nah, hey, no, hey. It's fine.
He's like
It's
me.
fine.
He's
Hey.
younger than I am, but we both go to sleep by 9, so don't.
I'm in bed by 8:30,
Well,
so yeah, I know.
well, I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I don't know when Nick gets
Same,
up, but,
same,
but so
4:30.
you can email me. I check them.
Yeah.
Is pretty much the
We
morning.
check
But
the emails constantly. So.
All the
we
time.
want to thank Dustin Brakeville, who's behind me here,
Thank
runs
you.
the floor. He
Brakeville.
did a great job as normal. Again, I want to thank everybody for listening. Until September 4th, be there, be square, and Chase Chevrolet, buddy.
See you,
Yeah.
Chase.
Buy into it.